This is personal work. You don't come into this, into local government, if you aren't people-centered. In the last 20 years, we've welcomed here in Prince William 200,000 new residents. And we are this year now at over 500,000 residents. There's no way I would have gone off to college, first generation college student here, had it not been specifically for the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha. Most folks think about Prince William and they think this is an affordable place, and that we are really working hard to make sure that we maintain affordability here in the community.
Kudos.
As you think about it, you're like, listen, all this stuff is happening.
The extra random. Today, I'm so excited to kick off our inaugural episode of the Ziv and Lambda Community Profiles podcast. I am your host, Jermaine Williams, the current president of the Ziv and Lambda chapter here in Prince William County, Virginia, of our dear Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And today, we're excited to have our first guest on this inaugural episode, Brother Christopher Shorter, our current Prince William County executive. Well, Brother Shorter here is a key leader in shaping one of Virginia's fastest growing communities, Prince William County. He brings a strong commitment to innovation and community partnerships and effective public service. And in recognition of Black History Month, this is our inaugural episode. We want to highlight some of the roles of some of our prominent African Americans like Brother Shorter, so that people can understand the impact in our community, importance of the work that we're doing. A proud HBCU graduate of the FAMU University.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, a member of the oldest and coldest fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha
I love
Fraternity Incorporated. Welcome, Brother Shorter.
Thank you.
What motivated you to pursue the role of county executive, and how has your vision for the county evolved since taking office?
No, I appreciate that question. And let me, if I can, let me start out just by thanking you for the invitation, man. Inaugural episode. This is a big deal. You are doing so much around the county, really the whole chapter. So just want to appreciate you, appreciate your leadership. It's a special time to be in Prince William County. You know, this question about the role and how in the journey generally would start for me back in Detroit. I grew up in Detroit, as you know. Really the quality of life, the condition of the city at the time that I grew up, my neighborhood in particular, that's what inspired me to come into public service. I knew I wanted to go into local government, help cities, counties, municipalities be better, no matter what area of the county you grew up in, that you should have the same kind of experience and opportunity for access. Right. So, as I grew up as a kid and played sports, football in particular, I went around from school to school.
What position? I'm sorry, I got to ask.
So tight end, outside linebacker on defense.
Okay, I see.
All state.
Oh, okay, all right.
To be clear,
I wasn't all state. I was in state though. I was in state.
And so, going from school to school as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, I saw very directly the difference between what I had access to, what my neighborhoods look like versus what some of those other communities look like. And so for me, it was, the city of Detroit could look and feel different for me. And so that inspired the journey. Prince William County, at the time that this, the opportunity came along, it was clear to me that there was an opportunity here to really make an impact. And that's what this is all about. I mean, I'm sort of committed to and have been fortunate in that I've had an opportunity to make an impact and wanted to do that here. Prince William County is the most diverse county in the Commonwealth of Virginia. In the 20th most diverse in the country. So when I thought about that, along with the economic opportunity here in terms of some of the business development, it really became clear that this is exactly what I came into this work to do. So it didn't take much. And once I got here, I was very much welcomed by you and by the chapter, by so many stakeholders and community partners. So it's been good. It's been good. The county has been good to me. And I would say this is a blessed time to be here in Prince William.
Awesome. And we're so glad to have you, man. I mean, again, I want to pay your kudos too, man. I mean, you've been visible since you got here,
I
right? We
appreciate that.
often talk about visibility and leadership in the community, right? Especially, having your vision and everything you've explained here, we're seeing the impact, right? We're
Right.
seeing not only just in diverse areas, but just economic empowerment, right? And your
Mm,
outreach and engagement in the community, reaching out to, and even our chapter, right? At a time when we're trying to expand in the community, right? Being able to see you and your active participation, right? I don't know how you do it with your schedule. So,
mm. Well, I appreciate you saying it that way.
mhm,
This is personal work. I
yeah,
mean, you don't come into this, into local government if you aren't people centered, or
mhm,
if you do, you won't stay
right.
because it really requires so much, right? It requires so much of your time, so much of your energy, your best thinking.
Yeah.
And if you don't come to it with
Mhm.
an earnest heart to do this work, really it won't you won't stick around. So appreciate you saying that,
That's
man.
another podcast, brother.
Hey.
That's another podcast, man. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Yeah, just government, especially in the hub of Washington, D.C., and all the things that we have going on right now. But how can you reach out and touch the masses, right? Do I see my local officials in the community, right? And that to
Absolutely.
you, by all means, man, we can attest. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right. So also on that topic, just moving into that, a perfect segue. So economic development, right? So
Mm.
what are the biggest economic opportunities you see for the county in the next 3 to 5 years? And how are you positioned in a community to take advantage of those?
Yeah, one thing I will say that was also clear to me is the amount of growth that's happening here
Hmm.
in Prince William. So in the
Right.
last 20 years, you may know this, we've welcomed here in Prince William 200,000 new residents.
Ooh, yeah.
And we are this year now at over 500,000 residents.
Ooh.
So
Okay. Okay.
it's here. So we're no longer a bedroom community.
Mm.
We are, all in of ourselves a fully, sort of grown, if you will, jurisdiction.
Mm.
So that said,
Right.
Prince William County, when I think about the different neighborhoods and communities that make up the county, we have a lot happening really across the board. So
Yeah.
um, the board has just recently approved a master plan for
Mhm.
maritime. So we have a lot of waterfront
Oh,
in our
you sure do.
in
You
our
have the Potomac, all that stuff. Yeah, running right through
Occoquan
the county.
River.
Occoquan.
So we are going to do
Mhm.
some planning around, master planning around how we better take advantage of all of the waterfront communities
Mhm.
that we have, more amenities.
That's
We
nice.
also are doing more around agribusiness and agrotourism. So for all
Mm.
our rural communities out west, what can we do to spotlight, highlight our farms?
Mhm.
We're doing so much around housing. I know we'll get into
Yeah,
housing a
yeah,
bit
housing.
later, but
Yeah,
the
right.
the what we are hearing from residents often is we
Mhm.
want more amenities in this community.
Right.
So we have all kinds of things happening throughout the county in terms of hotels, more
Mhm.
um, uh, restaurants.
Mhm.
They are coming. So
Yeah.
I think about, for example, we are doing now work on what we have referred to as the landing
Mhm.
here on the east side of the county,
Right.
where we might have or see some sort of mixed use commercial development,
Mhm.
some amenities akin to some of the top golf type sort
Oh,
of
okay.
amenities that you see in some other
That'd be great to
places.
have one here. Yeah, that'd
Absolutely.
be nice to have one
We're
here.
also looking at out
Mhm.
west the Sudley Road
Mhm.
corridor. So we
A lot
did.
of development there. I know there's always work along Sudley Road,
Absolutely.
right?
So
Yeah.
we're
Mhm.
reimagining that whole corridor as a
Mhm.
gateway to Prince William County.
Mhm.
So that means the Manassas Mall, that
Mhm.
whole area, we will really come with our best ideas around how we could redevelop that space. So that is just two examples. The Courts District.
Mhm.
So the
Right.
first Whole Foods in Prince William County,
Yes,
right?
I heard about that
Yeah.
along the Parkway, right?
So it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. These
Yeah.
kinds of things are happening really in every magisterial district. I could probably point
Mhm.
to some development that's
Mhm.
happening, some mixed use opportunity coupled with sort of housing and housing development. So it is happening. I will say, in terms of the most exciting opportunity that we have, well, all of those really are. When we introduce, and maybe we'll hopefully talk about infrastructure and transportation, but if we do,
Right.
as we introduce more people to this community, the need for us to have the quality of life development. That means the libraries, the recreation
Right.
centers, the
All the
parks, the
amenities, right?
trails. Yeah,
Amenities
the
of the
things that
community. Yeah.
make a community, right?
Yeah.
That's what we have to do and get right here in the Prince William
In the
County,
county. Yeah.
and that is what we're doing. So a
Yeah.
lot to point to there. I don't. What I will say is maybe we can in the podcast put some notes about where folks could go.
All the
Come to our
links.
way, yeah.
Perfect.
Come to our
Yeah.
site and see it for yourself. Sort of what is happening in the county, because there's a lot to show and a lot to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot to be excited, man. I'm going on 20 plus years now in the county. And I
Mm,
remember when I first got here again, growing up by the city in DC, right?
yes,
Everything is the country.
that's right. Yeah,
Coming down here, but seeing the progress the county has
yeah,
made over time, right? Before it was just a mall.
that's right.
Right now we
Gee,
have so many expansive communities, even for ourselves. Like we moved all the way we were like by the Beltway. Now we're on the west side of the county. That's something in my time here I had to discover,
mm,
right? Just the west side of the county, knowing that part exists, right?
sure.
Outside of the east side and stuff like that. So I'm always impressed with the progress in Manassas, Gainesville, the things we're seeing along 66. Seeing some of the historic communities like Clifton,
Yeah.
some of those things that are tucked away, the gems.
And we don't talk about it often, but
Mhm.
what is happening in the innovation district? You
Mm,
mentioned 66, and where we are talking biomedicine, biomanufacturing. Some
mm.
of these big corporations are actually deciding to come here to Prince
Ooh,
William County, and they're
nice.
bringing jobs. They're bringing
Mm.
commercial development. I think it was once 9.6 billion in capital infrastructure last calendar year, and that
9.6
is
billion.
for 9.6 billion
Nice,
invest in the way
nice,
of
nice.
investment here in Prince William County. And that is all
Gotta
those
write that
new,
down.
yeah, man, all those new companies, new businesses that are coming to the county and investing in commercial buildings, commercial space, infrastructure by way of roads,
Hmm.
and they are bringing employees,
Hmm.
or in the case of many of them, they're
Right.
hiring right here in Prince William County.
That's
So
wonderful.
it's significant. It's a
Yeah.
lot happening.
And kudos to you too. I mean, again, under your leadership and administration, during the job crisis situation, it's kind of ongoing. I know you did an excellent job reaching out and having those massive job fairs, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
That was definitely, amazing. And I know there are a lot of people that benefit from it. So,
Great point that you mentioned. I mean,
hmm,
we have, and the thing is, we haven't done those kind of job fairs,
hmm.
even outside of what was happening
Oh,
in
wow.
terms of some of the federal layoffs. We had not done the job fairs here in Prince William County to highlight and promote our vacancies and
Hmm.
opportunities here locally. So those job fairs were a first for us, and it came, you're right, at the perfect
Perfect
time,
timing.
because
Perfect
we
timing.
we were doing the job fairs to certainly promote vacancies in and throughout Prince William County, but we were also able to bring resources for those folks who
Right.
had been displaced or were
Hmm.
looking for opportunity,
Right.
but
Yeah.
also maybe looking to transition to another career, to pivot, to develop skills, to maybe even get support with, sort of resume writing and others. All that was happening right there at the job fair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they were great opportunities, and we partnered with the Performing Arts Center. So it was
Hmm.
a great space
Yeah.
for us to do it.
Hilton
So,
performed over there in Hilton, right?
yeah,
Is that
that's
Hilton
right.
performed? Yep,
Hmm.
yep. But see, I'm
Yeah,
a
you
county, I'm a
connecting the
county
dots,
expert. I
man.
kind of know my way around, right?
Yeah, 20 years, man. You get to, you got some
But
bragging rights.
city. I mean, you got you kind of like your DMV inside the Beltway, like
Yes.
brain going on. But no, it's been great, and it's funny. Just a quick topic too. It's like even just being a cycler and cycling in the county
Oh, for
and figuring out
sure.
some of the trails, right? So that's a different way. That's a different kind of connection that you make with the county, right? It's like now I'm like, oh, this road and that road, right?
That
Because
leads to
you're not
this,
from
and that
here. That
leads to
leads to
this.
this and that. And so like even those discoveries are like, it's like, okay, I've been here for a while, but even so, just walking some of those trails and going through some of those things,
You
it's a
probably know
different.
this, but our parks and trail system, particularly our trails,
Mhm.
is probably one of the number one tourist
Mhm.
activities in the county. This is what
Yeah,
brings people to Prince William County, our trails.
yeah.
So, and we've seen our board
Hmm.
invest over the last few years in the trail system for that reason. Now, we have some significant investment to do still, but we have a nationally recognized trail parks and trail system here in Prince William County.
What I discussed, Prince
Yeah,
William Forest Park.
Prince William Forest Park
Didn't
is a
even know it
great
was that
example.
deep. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
do
yeah.
something about the hills over there, man. Those are massive hills. No,
You know,
no,
we
it's
have
great.
we have
It's great for
limitations.
hiking. It's more. It's beautiful. It's great for hiking.
Yeah.
That's another podcast. Are there any key infrastructure projects you would like to point out
Yeah,
that's like really close to your heart right now? That's
sure.
important.
I mean, I'll
Hmm.
say, I mean, so any community that is growing
Hmm.
at the pace that Prince William County is growing,
Hmm.
we need to also see investments in infrastructure. That is, yes, the roads. That is the some of the lane miles
Hmm.
that we are seeing now developed. I think 20 years ago. So Prince William Parkway was in existence when you got here.
Yeah. I think at one point there's certain parts that was like it was like one lane or something like that. I mean, there's certain parts, I may be mixing this up with 234, but I know the development at a certain point, like if you were going to like Mason or you're
Mm.
cutting across the Fairfax, the
Hmm.
traffic was a little bit challenging. They weren't as wide. The lanes weren't as wide.
So
Yeah.
part of what we have to get right
Hmm.
is building up the infrastructure so that the
Hmm.
quality of life is retained, so that we maintain the level of the quality of life here in Prince William County.
Hmm.
So commuter garage, we just last year cut the ribbon on the
I saw that. Congrats. Congrats.
Neabsco Potomac commuter
Hmm.
garage.
Hmm.
We are now investing across the county $1.4 billion across the county and
Hmm.
widening roads. That is Route 1, that is 66, Route 28.
Yeah.
I mean, you also see these interchanges that we're now doing around the county. We have a lot of work that we
Hmm.
have done and that we're doing. We
Yeah.
have, I think, one of the best transportation teams and best transportation
Mhm.
directors in the region here in Prince William County, because
Nice.
we get a lot of federal and state money to
Mhm.
do a lot of these projects.
Nice.
Millions we've gotten just in the last calendar year to
Mhm.
do some of these infrastructure projects.
Nice.
We're also, it's multimodal. So you can
Yeah.
appreciate that we are
Mhm.
really not just focused on car in traffic. We are
Right.
also focused on VRE and OmniRide. We're focused
Right.
on bikes and
Yes.
just so
Yes.
multimodal
Mhm.
community, and we're doing it
I like that. I like that
with
multimodal. Mhm.
yes, and we're doing it with sensitivity to the fact that we have sort of a
Mhm.
we have a suburban community, a
Mhm.
somewhat urban community, and a rural
Yeah.
community all here in Prince William
In the
County
county.
that's
Yeah.
looking to make sure that they have a piece of our future.
Mhm.
And so, as we develop transportation, develop infrastructure, and when I think infrastructure, I also think about the parks, the libraries, the senior centers, the community centers. All of
Mhm.
those, in my mind, this is all infrastructure and quality of life. So, a lot happening.
No, no, that's great. That's great, and all those things, and I love it because like I'm again like most people, I'm a commuter. I've been
Mm.
all across the county. I've been across the county, and I see the benefits of that, right? The benefits of the commuter lot, right? We're not even talking about giving the extra ramp to 95. Kudos. Thank you.
As you
Thank you.
think about it, you're like, listen, all
Oh,
this
it's
stuff is happening.
fantastic. The extra ramp to 95. We all said we need a ramp in Woodbridge, right? And you
That's right.
guys did it. So again, kudos for you all on that. For us commuters, or the expansion of Horner Road, right?
Mm,
Getting those lots, additional lots. People don't believe those lots fill up pretty quickly, right?
especially on the Monday through Friday sort
Monday
of.
through Friday
Yeah.
goes. I mean, the Dumfries lot, we love that. We're seeing that, like you said, the new infrastructure that you just set up. I've been to the bus depot before, and
Mm,
that parking lot would get packed really quickly. So now having that multi-level infrastructure there. And I know the folks, they're folks that live within that Wegmans community, right? And they can now
Yes.
walk over and
Yeah.
commute. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm here.
With
Yeah.
plug-ins for electric vehicles,
Yes.
charging stations.
Hmm.
It just, yeah, it is happening as we speak in terms of some of the,
Yeah.
just exciting development
That you're
around the
doing.
county. Yeah.
And I used to, in my conversations with people, when I describe Prince William County, in the best way I say it's the new Fairfax, right?
Mm.
Because with the growth, the quality of schools and different things that we have here that are already part of the establishment, the growth is just adding a bonus to it, right? And the growth out west is just, I mean, it's just there's so much room to grow.
And I'd like to think
Mhm.
that in terms of the region, we are unique.
Yeah.
Even in most folks think
Hmm.
about Prince William and they think this is an affordable place
Hmm.
where you can buy a home
Yeah.
still, and you can
Hmm.
grow with this community,
Hmm.
and that we are really working hard to make sure that we maintain affordability here
Right.
in the community. That we do by making sure that property taxes remain low, but we
Thank you for
also,
that.
yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Appreciate that.
And
Yes.
cutting
Yeah.
down those rates thanks to the board and their the
Yes.
board's
That has
leadership.
been very, thank you all for that. That's, I appreciate that.
In a lot of communities,
Hmm.
especially in this region, just can't do that. I mean, this is a tough financial
Yeah.
time, and Prince
Hmm.
William County is one of those communities where we're
Hmm.
fortunate in that we're able to,
Hmm.
still lower some of these tax. Vehicle tax was lowered last year. Property
Yes.
tax was lowered last year. We're transferring record
Hmm.
amounts of funding to schools, public schools.
Yeah.
So it's
It's growing. Yeah. Yeah. I know. That's a whole nother, and I'll tell you this too. I love it too, because when I tout when I kind of talk about champion for Prince William County,
mm,
I often talk about the just the cost benefit analysis, right? Like, hey, like I understand there's a car tax, but quality of roads, right? I always jokingly say this. All my DC people notice, right? How many axles do you have to replace?
that's right.
Right, when you're
Or
living in the
wheels
city.
that you have to replace because it's
Right,
cracked. Yeah.
it's cracked, right? And so not knocking the city, love the city, but just again with the quality of roads, it's been fantastic. The all of those economic improvements, the cost benefit analysis of what do I get for my tax dollars, right?
Mm,
Because I also have family that still lives in some of the more populated parts of the DMV, right?
mm,
And then the higher taxes and the things that they pay. What are you getting in return, right? What's your return on investment? For
sure.
me, always touting the counties like, hey, I love my return on investment for living in Prince William County. So no, that's all. It's great to hear that and kind of connect those dots, right? And,
Mm.
and to go into that one again, probably one of my most favorite questions here. So just housing and affordability, right? And that's a big
Yeah.
challenge.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
that's a big challenge, right? So I know you touched on it a little bit already, right? Talking about affordability, but again, how is the county addressing affordable housing, homelessness, and the growth in a way that supports both current residents, right? Again,
Mm,
current residents, we love our low taxes, right? And
mm,
then the future developments, right? Because I know there'll also be maybe certain communities, kind of like maybe Potomac Shores,
yes.
where the property values and things are a little bit higher, but you're attracting a client base that's a little bit more middle income to higher income in that bracket, right?
Yeah. I mean, I see this in multiple
Mm-hmm.
ways. One, making sure that this community's
Mm-hmm.
quality of life continues to we maintain it and or increase the level
Mm-hmm.
of enthusiasm around the things that we're doing here so
Mm-hmm.
that property values can continue to go up. So in
Mm-hmm.
terms of current residents, current homeowners, they
Yeah.
want to see value
Right.
in their home. They don't want to see their home values going down. So
Right.
where we have some level of control locally,
Mm-hmm.
I think that control is making sure that it is a safe community, making sure that
Mm-hmm.
it has the amenities and quality of life that folks enjoy. In terms of new residents, so the
Mm-hmm.
board last calendar year
Mm-hmm.
took some pretty big steps. One, they created an ordinance around affordable housing. So
Mm-hmm.
an affordable dwelling unit ordinance was passed last year and became
Mm-hmm.
effective last December.
Okay.
What that does for a developer who might be interested in developing housing here in the county, we will give them an additional bonus in
Mm.
density if they include more affordable units,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
And so, in addition to that ordinance and
Mm-hmm.
this now incentive for developers to develop more affordable units, we also created a trust, or I should say a fund, an
Mm-hmm.
affordable dwelling unit fund in the county that essentially gives its gap funding. So a
Mm-hmm.
developer that may want to
That's
introduce newer,
impressive. Okay.
yeah, and we committed almost 30 or just over 30 million so far
Mm. Okay.
to that fund. So the board has through 2020 through 29, we're gonna put
Mm-hmm.
over $30 million aside,
Mm-hmm.
really to support developers who will
Nice.
pay that money back to the county over
Mm-hmm.
time, but to help them with the gap funding. That's the biggest challenge oftentimes for a
Mm-hmm.
developer who is well meaning, who might be interested in
Mm-hmm.
developing affordable, but just don't. They are missing a little bit of the
Mm-hmm.
funding and need the government support, and they
Right.
have it here in Prince William County. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's going to make a big difference going forward
Mm-hmm.
in what we see. Now, that said,
Right.
hundreds of units of housing are being approved. I think just this last month in Prince
Mm-hmm.
William County, the board approved
Mm-hmm.
almost a dozen different developments that are happening around the county. In terms of affordability, it is high on the board's
Mm-hmm.
list. We want to make sure that we
Mm-hmm.
make sure this is one of the unique aspects or characteristics of Prince William County, that it
Mm-hmm.
has this uh, uniqueness in the different housing types. So we have various communities from the west side of the county to the east side of the county,
Mm-hmm.
in that we have some affordability that you are seeing in less and less of in other communities north of us,
Mm-hmm.
just given the nature of the region. And
Yeah.
I mean, we live, this,
Yeah.
in probably one of the most
Y-
expensive regions in
Yes.
the country.
In the country. Yeah.
So it is
Yeah.
hard to
Mm-hmm.
maintain some level of affordability in a
Mm-hmm.
place like Prince William County, given that we are so close to Washington, D.C. I mean, we're
Yeah.
35 minutes out,
Yeah.
but we maintain some level of affordability, and we're working hard, including the board,
Mm-hmm.
to maintain that.
To
Yeah,
maintain that.
yeah,
Yeah. And again, the county is, again, the jewel. I mean, we're positioned amazingly, right in the heart of 95,
that's right.
right outside of, right outside of DC, right in the heart of 95, not too far from Baltimore, not too far from Richmond, right? But
Hmm.
also we're right in the heart of 66 too, right? We're right
That's
in that
right.
heart of 66 too, on the west side and the east side. So the county's really expansive. So even in our organization, our chapter, with the work we do in Prince William County, our greatest challenge right now, as you know, right? You've been part of that movement that we've had, is trying to being able to reach all the parts of the county, right? Because
Mm,
it's so large, right? Gainesville is a whole nother planet. That's like
mm,
a whole nother Woodbridge,
hmm.
right? And Dumfries can be anything on any day, right? I mean, you're talking about, growing out with the casino, and also being a major
Absolutely.
business hub down there, as always, right? Small business opportunities down there in the community, a
In
cultural fest.
each of those places, you can
Yeah,
point to very specific things that are happening to continue the sort of upward mobility and growth. It's
yeah.
so you're
It's
you're
right
you're
there,
saying it. It's right there.
right there, looking good, looking good. And so I'll kind of hopping around here, but let me hop into yeah, I know you touched on it a little bit, but public safety and community trust, right? So I know public safety is always a top priority, right? We all want to have safe communities, and and again, always maintain public trust, right? The
Mm-hmm.
community's trust, right? um, how do you ensure that you maintain a high level of public safety and community trust, right, within the community? I think over the past year or so, we were talking about different positions. I think you hired like a community outreach person per se for the community, right?
It's the
Yeah.
Office of Community Safety.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and so yes, we hired a
Hmm.
director. The board created that office just 2 years ago,
Yes.
and really, it's all about coordination. So we have, I would say, generally speaking, one of the most popular police departments. So we do a survey every year,
Oh, oh,
and
oh.
of the community,
Hmm.
and they kind of rate some of the more popular
Mhm.
departments, if you will, in the in the county government. The police department always ranks at the top, man. 96% of our residents
96. Okay. Okay.
trust our department,
Mhm.
appreciate the work that they do. And
Yeah.
I hear from our police officers all the time that everywhere they go, people are saying, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. They appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah.
That said, we know that it requires that a safe community requires more than just the police department. So
Exactly.
that's why the board approved and established this Office of Community Safety, and I was happy to introduce it. And because mostly it's about coordination, we have a lot in our public safety sort of system here in the county. That is PD, criminal justice services, our Commonwealth attorney, our judges, probation. There's a laundry list of organizations, departments,
That you all
the
need to coordinate.
sheriff, the adult detention center that have to coordinate and work
Mhm.
together. What we also don't think about is the fact that we have a public safety communications, or our 911 center,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Community services, that is the folks that are dealing with crises, and they're going out to meet people where they are who might be suffering from some mental health emergency or some other emergency. All those entities have to coordinate together and work together.
Yeah.
So very helpful to have a Office of Community Safety to
Mhm.
help with that coordination. And we are seeing certainly the benefits of it. I'll also say,
Mhm.
from a mental health
That's good.
perspective,
Yeah.
having a crisis receiving center right here in Prince William County, which we sort of
Just broke ground, right? Just broke ground on that,
we
right? Yeah.
actually not broke ground. We
Okay.
actually it is open
It is
now.
open now,
It
right?
is
You
open
opened,
now.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry,
Uh,
you had to
ribbon
we were
cutting.
trying to make it, yeah, you had the ribbon cutting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
awesome.
2 months ago,
Mhm.
and so now they are fully
Mhm.
open and up and running. They are even accepting walk-in. So all the services associated with the crisis receiving center is up.
Mhm.
And what that means now, a
Mhm.
few things, is that our police department isn't being called on to deal with
Mm.
someone who is in a mental health crisis
Right, right.
with only armed with only their sort of police powers, right?
Yeah.
So what also happens is that our police officers are sitting in the emergency room,
Yeah.
sometimes for days, with
Yeah.
someone who has suffered a mental health
Just having a major
crisis.
episode, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they have to be there with them.
Yeah.
The crisis receiving center turns the
Mhm.
page. So they are now able
Oh,
to,
man, that's
community
wonderful.
services is sort of responding, co-response, where they are ultimately making sure
Mhm.
that folks have a place where they can go that is not just the emergency room, and
Yeah.
certainly not just
Mhm.
the adult detention center, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
not where they belong when they need support. So it's a big deal that Prince William County
It's
now has.
massive. It's
Yes,
massive.
yes,
And just
yes.
from being socially aware, everything that happened during the pandemic, it's it really it really brought visibility to how important mental health is,
Yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
how maybe our police departments aren't properly postured to deal with some of those issues and concerns, right? So when the hospitals close down and all those resources go away, who do we have to really deal with those
Mm,
issues, right? When folks are isolated, right? And
absolutely.
so, yeah, when I saw that, just kind of reading that, and I saw, okay, that was like a sign of growth, right? A little bit of sign of
And
growth for the community, for the county. And
yeah.
I was happy. I was like, okay, you're focusing on that because with the good comes the bad, right? Because you're going to attract more people to the county,
Mm.
right? That may not be the most
In terms
desirable
of
factors.
population growth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, even with the population growth, but you may get undesirable folks coming to the county, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, so you probably need to have a focus on that. Like you said, maintaining quality of life. Everyone wants to be in a nice, safe neighborhood. We want to maintain it, and people tend to get a little bit scared with growth, right?
Absolutely.
As it happens.
And so for that reason, let me say we have
Mhm.
reduced
Mhm.
the overall crime rate by 22%
Ooh, okay.
last calendar year, and reduced the violent crime rate in the county by 10% in the
Nice,
last
nice.
calendar year. So still very much looking at the stats.
Mhm.
The police department PD produces every year an annual report that lays out, how safe this community is in the region. We are just, it's an amazing community, and we are very safe, but it requires more than the stats, and certainly requires more than just PD to remain that way. And so I like to point to community safety and all these other partners that have a role to play. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, and I can attest to that. I mean, Prince William County, I've been through most of the parts of DMV.
Yeah, yeah,
I can
yeah.
say I'm pleased. Definitely, again, things that I tout as a resident of the county. One of the best benefits, is the family safe.
Absolutely.
Is the family safe, right?
And no matter where you are, right, in
where
the
you
county,
are in the county.
No matter what you might be running errands, you might be at home, you may be riding your bike, whatever you're doing, you want to believe that this community is one that where you and your family can remain safe.
Yeah.
And we are very committed to making sure that remains the case.
And just a little kudos too. I'll say something I discovered when I came here. Right, there are massive commuting options here, Monday to Friday.
Absolutely.
Even though a metro doesn't run through the county, right? There are massive commuting options here that are available to residents, right? I found that very. I was like, okay, I kind of figured that out, right?
Yeah. Well, you can. I mean, just think about the history. Where we were a bedroom and even considered ourselves a bedroom community to DC. So the infrastructure to get out of the county every morning to DC was built out and built out well. I think the stat that I heard when I first got here, 70 some odd percent, maybe 75% of our residents daily were leaving the county to go outside the county for work.
Yeah.
That has shifted. And that's why when I say multimodal transportation, when I say cross-county connectors, we want to make sure that Prince William County becomes a destination employer where corporations are moving here. So you need to have the roads, the widening so that you can have people move from the east side to the west side in terms of commuting each day and not just outside the county. So all of it is important.
The buses, right? I noticed there's a kind of like a Woodbridge to Manassas bus Omni ride now.
Absolutely. So the bus routes is a big part of that, and maintaining free sort of service where we can, and making sure that folks that it's accessible where it needs to be. OmniRide is a great partner, and we provide financial support to OmniRide each year as part of the budget process. So yes, the bus routes are critically important. The roads are critically important to make sure that that folks are able to move about the county just as seamlessly as they are able to leave the county to go to work.
Yeah, and I have seen that, just the increase in the buses and the, like you said, the commuting options and the growth, and I've been experienced, because they're just now having to commute back in the Beltway post pandemic now. I did benefit from the free bus, the metro.
Through that,
I felt a little uncomfortable. I was like, oh, should I pay? Should I? But he was like,
you can always donate extra money if you want. I'm just joking.
But no, I love that, right? Because like the Metro Express, right? I think that was great, right? I think having those options, especially at a time where like I said, people a little bit more remote work kind of shut down a little bit due to the pandemic, but then having that option still, right, provides a little bit more stability over some of the slug lines, right?
Especially as folks were starting to come back into the office, or being called back into the office.
Happily, very happy to come back in the office.
Very good.
But all right. So kind of moving into I guess I'll move into this one, right? So again, kind of talking even how we met, you coming into the county, being very visible, right? But not only being visible, but also being active, right? Being active, not only being a brother in name in the fraternity, right? But a brother in spirit and bonds, right? Meaning you made yourself available. You're coming to chapter meetings. You're coming to our events, right?
Absolutely.
Which was really important, right? Us being able to make that connection, figuring out what community resources we can use as we're trying to grow and keep up with this growth in the community, because people tend to forget sometimes, as the county grows, we grow.
Absolutely.
Right? Our chapter itself, we're one of the largest in the fraternity, right? And then
here,
the oldest and the coldest,
with brothers coming all the way, in some cases from Maryland, to chapter meetings and to activities, and it's so
come on
that's
down,
a testament.
Brothers. Come
that's
on
a
down,
testament.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Come on down, right? Amazing, the amenities of the county, right? And like I always say, because and I think this is still probably a fact, I believe the Prince William County, I believe Potomac Mills is still the #1 tourist destination in
It is
Virginia,
still
right? It's
in Virginia. I'm
in
not
Virginia.
actually sure about.
Mm-hmm.
It may be. I just had
Mm-hmm.
not seen that stat, but certainly it is the #1
Mm-hmm.
in Prince William County. Now we
Mm-hmm.
have the museum. We have now Nova Live. I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
been out to what is it what is it called the restaurants Proof and Farm Brew, and then they have now a whole boutique
Mm.
hotel. That whole campus is
Ooh,
close to
Nova Live.
innovation. It's
Okay.
called Nova Live,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
great food. It
Mm-hmm.
it's a testament to what is happening in Prince William
Mm-hmm.
County. So yeah, do check it
Kind of
out.
live
Yeah.
festival environment. I think I may have saw something about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
outdoor
Outdoor.
festival space, but
Nice,
they
nice.
have the restaurants on campus.
Mm.
Now a boutique hotel that I believe opened in December, so it is
Ooh,
open for
hotel.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
um, and
That's
um,
good to know.
and so it is. It's in a great bar for, for those
Wing,
who partake.
the wings only. No
Yeah,
wings and water.
that's right.
All right. So again, just legacy and accountability, right? I
Mm.
mean, when your time is complete as county executive, what would what do you envision your legacy being here?
No, I appreciate that question, and that's I'd say one of my primary focuses has been the health of
Mhm.
the government organization itself. So I will say that you know I want to leave behind a high performing government.
Mhm.
That is a government that looks like the community it serves, that is effective, is efficient, knows how to get things done, and that we are able to present that
Mhm.
forward to this community in a way that folks understand it and can buy into it.
Mhm.
So, high performing, what we call HPO organization is one that I
Mhm.
really do want to leave behind. I'd also say we spend our government billions. I would say just over $1 billion every year if you can count the construction work that we do.
Mhm.
I, we want to open up government business for
Mhm.
those who are here in this community, not just the larger construction firms, but the
Smaller
smaller.
partners, yeah.
Yeah, that we want to demystify what it means to do business in Prince William County
Mhm.
and particularly with Prince William County government. So would love to see
Mhm.
really the door open up really wide for local small business veteran owned businesses doing more work with the county. I would consider that a win,
Mhm.
not just for my own legacy, but really for this community and for many other folks who live here who provide services, sometimes to the federal government, sometimes
Yeah.
to other communities,
Yeah.
and we want them right here in Prince William County to tap into our
Mhm.
government as well.
Yeah, because we have this multi-jurisdictional hub with a large looming federal government. Very
Yes.
complex. I don't know if there is anywhere else in the nation that's
Mm,
like that, right?
mm,
Where you have a multi-jurisdictional hub in one of the most important capital centers in the world, right?
that's right.
Where you
World
have to
class
deal with
region.
everyone.
Mm.
No, no, that's impressive. And I've also seen those procurement opportunities and different
Yeah, we now
outreach
do a
events. Yeah.
procurement expo where we're inviting
Yeah.
folks
Yeah.
to sort of to meet with our
Hmm.
agencies, see what opportunities are coming. I guess the last thing I'll say is this: the infrastructure. We've talked a lot
Hmm.
this last few minutes about
Yeah.
infrastructure and the growth happening in this community.
Hmm.
If we fall behind,
Hmm.
it will impact the future in a big
Very,
way. So,
very much so.
really, a legacy around making sure that we're making the strategic investments in the infrastructure of the county is something that I also would consider
Hmm.
a legacy piece too. And by infrastructure, like I said, I mean all of the community centers, the
Yeah.
senior centers, the recreation centers, all of the libraries, the things that make a community sort of what it is.
Just an open question, right? So what are your what do you see for the future of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, right? Like
Whew.
what is your vision? What are your hopes for our dear and great fraternity here?
Yeah, here in the county.
here in the county? I mean, just in general, right?
Yeah.
Just in general. I always like to ask that question.
Yeah, no, I am, and I expressed a little bit of this at our
Hmm.
Founders Day event just a few
Great
weeks
job. Thank you for that, by the
ago.
way, our guest speaker. Thank
Yeah,
you for that.
no, that we are in such a
Hmm.
important moment in time
Hmm.
where particularly black boys and black men
Hmm.
are in need of support.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and I feel like the fraternity is frontline. Um,
Mm.
I
So true.
benefited personally, and I expressed this in December during our Founders Day event, from mentors.
Yes.
I
Very
would
powerful.
not have left Detroit. There's no way I would have gone off to college, first generation college student here,
Oh man.
if
Mm.
had it not been for mentors and had it not been specifically for
Mhm.
the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha.
Mm.
So there is a real need for
Mhm.
the fraternity to step into this space around mentoring and helping young men along, really young men and young women. That's
Yeah.
helping our community. But there is a specific need that our boys have right now for this fraternity and making sure that the light of Alpha shines bright really across the country. And in terms of Prince William County, I feel
Mm.
like the chapter is really at the center. All of our fraternities and
Yeah.
sororities are in terms of community, identifying and working with the community. We are leading in so many ways, brothers and the sororities, and it feels like the timing is ripe for the kind of collaboration and work that our fraternities and sororities can have right here in the county.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
man.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
And I love it too because I grew up on the tail end of Brother Marionsberry's administration in DC, right?
Yeah.
And having those community centers open. I benefited from the DC tuition grant assistance program, right? I'm a product of that,
Absolutely.
right? I'm a product of that going to Howard, the illustrious Howard University.
Hey.
But going to
My
Howard.
son will appreciate you saying that.
Definitely. Great choice, by the way. But benefiting from those programs, right? Being able to have just that spirit of leadership, right? That we
Mm,
often find very subtle,
mm,
right? But very powerful and impactful spirit of leadership. We often say sometimes we find out people, yeah, I could probably use an alpha, right? But
yeah.
just loving the organization. And I came into the fraternity a little bit later,
Mm.
as an adult, growing up, I'm looking around and see my mentors. I'm like, oh,
This
okay,
is what
yeah,
this is
I
what this
gotta
is
be a
where it
part of that. I
is.
gotta be a
That's
part of that. I
right.
saw it on campus, but need to be a part of it. But though, just like you said, just being benefiting from that and just wanting to pay it forward.
Mm,
So the spirit of the work that I try to do and where we try to lead people in the community is like, like I said, you touched on it several times. When it's in your heart and it's natural, it's not work. Right.
mm,
It's like I want
absolutely.
to help the community. I want to push things forward. And then, when you're right here in the county, we're baked in. We're Prince William County folks. Like we want things to happen and to move forward and to take care of it. And even the brothers in the chapter, we just kicked off last month a partnership with Potomac Shores Middle School, right? Like a Saturday school to help them to mentor some of our young children because
Uh,
along with our, quick plug, our Dorsey Scholarship Endowment Foundation,
hey.
right? We give away hundreds of thousands of dollars of scholarships per year, idscf.org. But, most importantly, one of our focuses, right, is to not just to target the students that are winning scholarships, but more importantly, some of the children that may have some challenges, right?
Mm-hmm.
That mentorship program. So now even within the chapter, we're diverting a little bit some of our resources to focus a little bit more on mentorship, right? There are those
Absolutely.
kids that just may need a little bump or a
Helping
little,
him.
yeah, little helping hand to go along. And I think we're also exploring into some growth areas as far as like grants, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said, right? Again, having a background in contracts, finance, and grants, like I understand that grant writers are so important. I spent a few years here doing some projects, like even with my local church, to do some research to figure it out, right? And even trying to convey to some of the nonprofits, like, it's a lot of work sometimes. You need a professional grant writer. So when you say steering committee, I love that, right?
Yeah.
Because we need them, right? We need those people that can help the small organizations because sometimes it's just passion work,
That's right.
right? We don't have the resources to necessarily go
Truly
out
pay
and get
you.
the grant. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have the resources to go out and necessarily get it down, right, and put the application in for these boards and things like that. So that's always important. But again,
Listen,
thank you so
this
much.
has been absolutely amazing, man. This whole conversation, I appreciate being inaugural and
Inaugural
being
episode
that's
number
right,
one, man.
that's right.
The first.
So thank you for doing it. Thank you for spreading the word. This has been outstanding combo. So appreciate you.